Hello, Internet. Welcome back to the Fast Travel Lounge. You're listening to episode 53. My name is Patrick. I'm joined by Saif and Steve. Say hi, everyone.
Hello.
G'day there, fellas. How are you all doing today?
Pretty good. Not as good as Josh, who I hear is partying in the Bahamas with Samuel Bankman-Fried.
You know who's doing worse than Josh? All the Xbox fans. Jeez, what happened today, guys? How's the stocks doing?
They were too busy playing their games.
What games?
Not watching some silly YouTube video.
Well, I'll tell you what game they're not playing. Call of Duty, that's what.
Well, it's just a shit game, to be honest. Let's be
real.
real.
I was going to make the joke, big fan of the show, but then I feel like his fan base is large enough that they could actually bully me for saying that if it's not true. But one of Atriox's latest videos actually talked about how, because so context for this is probably going to end up coming up in the news, I guess, but FTC, which I guess was where the FTX reference was almost going, suing Microsoft for trying to take Activision. And what's funny is, as was pointed out in Atriox's video, just how double-sided the messaging is. I'd only really seen one side of it, where everyone's saying, no, it's not going to be that bad. You know, we'll take over Call of Duty, but no, we'll still give it to Sony. It's okay. And then what I didn't realize was that Microsoft internally was talking to all their shareholders about how great it's going to be that they have Activision Blizzard and how awesome it's going to be that they get Call of Duty. So they're trying to convince people that nothing good will happen, but nothing bad will happen either.
Look, you always have to say that bullshit to shareholders. They don't know any better.
It's true. It's true.
That is entirely true.
Yeah. The money goes up, and in essence, for us video gamers, that means the numbers go up, and when the numbers go up, we all win.
I just remembered there's another thing I need to add for Microsoft on the news docket this week.
Oh. Do we get a sneak preview as to what that is, or are we going to have to wait and find out?
No, I'm going to add it to the docket now, so you guys will see it changing in real time.
Saif, I know that. I'm trying to tease the audience to stick around for the next hour.
So if you join our Patreon, you get access to the live feed.
The tease could just be you guys reading and going, oh, that, yes, that.
Look, I'll be quite honest with you, Saif, if this isn't an edging competition, we don't have to do that.
Look, Saif, I'd humor you if I could read, okay? But thanks for bringing it up. It's a real awkward topic.
Look, look, just between you and me, Pat, I hate to fucking do this, but fuck yeah, Saif, you're right. I'm seeing the docket now. I'm like, oh yeah.
Damn it, now I have to see what it is. Yeah. I hate feeling left out when it's 2 against 1. Oh yeah.
Enter the dead silence. It's great audio content.
Yeah, no, that will come up. Definitely stick around. What did I just go? Oh yeah, to stick around and find out.
You won't believe what happens in news item number 4.
Yeah, exactly. I heard rumors through the grapevine that Josh was enjoying himself some Krispy Kreme, which means that we need to go back to.
Also, hold on. Would you say he was enjoying some Krispy Krusty?
Okay, no, Saif, you're out.
Did not say that.
He's getting that Krispy Kreme pie, am I right, fellas? But it was like 12 original. We did it, fellas. 53 episodes. We finally put a Krispy Kreme joke into it.
Cream-filled donut, right?
Oh, you're out of here.
It's fine when you do it.
Yeah. So is it a Krispy Krusty or is it a Krusty Cream?
I don't think I want to have this conversation. Actually, I brought it up, and now I don't. I'm backing out.
Yeah, what's this, Saif? You want to bitch out when you've already committed part way?
Yeah, that's my entire bit. I start it, and then I leave.
Have fun listening back and trying to edit this absolute shit show of an intro together. No, on the back of unnamed sponsored donut brand. Tech updates.
Really? I was waiting for you to hand that off to someone. Like you just went tech updates and then left it hanging.
Don't all speak at once. It's fine. Future stuff will cut out that awkward pause.
No, I won't. I think it's funnier with it in.
That'd be too long.
Well, I have nothing to offer here as per usual because all my tech is perfect and never. Actually, no, I sort of lie, but I can't do anything about it. My computer, when it goes into sleep mode, starts itself back up.
But that's not sleep mode then.
It is put instead of sleep mode, it went into nap.
Yeah, but like the nap lasts for like 5 seconds and then it starts up again.
Sure you didn't hit a restart?
Nope, I'm pretty sure of the last 2 odd months of me putting it into sleep mode and it randomly waking up immediately after that has not been me hitting restart every one of those times.
Maybe one of the keys on your keyboard are going off and it thinks that you're typing something.
Definitely not that either. I pull out the USB dongle that I have the keyboard and mouse attached to, and it still wakes itself up.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Man, you really think you know someone?
Well, exactly, right? But I should say that this is also the computer that I can no longer access the BIOS of. So
why would you need the BIOS?
She's on her way out.
More like BIOS, am I right, fellas?
See that one. Probably because it's unrelated to donut or body parts. That one was a good one. I like that one, Steve. Why don't we get this, Steve?
Well, we're too busy in the BIOSy. There you go. There's your alley-oop.
I'm going to put us into a rerun episode of Tech Updates. Remember how I have a flip phone?
Oh yeah, that's right. You do too.
Yeah, the flip phones.
My warnings were not enough.
The Z Flip 3, the ones that aren't supposed to have the crease problem because they sorted that out. And
oh no,
it immediately happened to my first one. The second one came in like, when was it? February we talked about it, or March?
Yeah, roughly.
Sure.
This is when I got my Pixel, yeah.
Yeah, so it's been fine since then, this second one. And it's just starting to crease along the screen now, and every time I close it, it makes an awful cracking sound. So after Christmas, I'm going to be changing phones.
It's been less than 12 months. If it doesn't last for 12 months, that's fucked.
Yeah, no, it feels like they were kind of designed to go out when the next flips came out.
Meanwhile, my phone still going strong. S10 Plus. It's gonna turn the age of 4 in 2 months, 3 months.
How's the battery on that thing? Your alarm goes off and it's time to charge again?
No, it lasts a full day.
You must be taking real nice care of that.
Yeah, like when you get home from work, is it 5% full day or?
No, like I haven't, other than when I've accidentally forgotten to charge it overnight, I haven't had the phone on less than about 10% more than like count on one hand out of the last probably 6 months.
Fuck, that's
like
alright.
At the end of the day.
That's right. And you haven't changed your battery in 4 years and you haven't, oh, far out. That's crazy good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What can I say?
Like S9 after 3 years, like by 12 o'clock, it's begging for a charge.
Nah, not this one.
Oh well, better luck next time.
And the best part is, it still folds perfectly.
That's what you want.
Yeah. Nice little crease on the side of the phone that probably shouldn't flip, but you just fold that shit right up and put it in your pocket. Right. Was that the only tech updates? Anything you want to add, Steve?
I dropped my phone while I was taking a poo the other day, and the screen started to flicker. But then I intentionally dropped it and it fixed it. So I think it's play on.
It was a little touch and go there, but it seems fine.
Yeah, I guess so. But it's fine. That's fine. Actually, no. You know what? No, Stevie rant time. So as we know, big fans of the podcast will know that there are currently 3 rabbits in the Steve den, if you would, and one of them has decided to treat himself to the thumbpad things on my Xbox controller. So it being the fiscally conservative young fella I am, I did not change the thumbpads. So I was raw dogging it, if you would. The thumb pad on my thumb, and
you really don't have to choose these words, you know. Like think of the English language. There are so many words to choose from. You could have picked any other ones. I'm
a fan of his vernacular.
Yeah, so there I am, raw dogging the controller while I'm playing video games, and I've cut up my thumb something bad. So I caved. I ended up buying a pack of, I think, 8 thumb pads, for lack of a better word.
Yeah.
And they were like $7 with free shipping, and eBay gave me $5 off. And so they were $2, and they were to be arriving any day now. And I cannot wait for that.
But you only need one, so you're going to feed the rest of the rabbits?
They're going to have a little thumbstick pad as a treat.
Satiate their devilish appetite.
What about one for you? Do you want to see what the rabbit was? Do you want to see if the rabbit was onto something? You want to give one a little nibble yourself?
Maybe just one for me.
Would a rabbit go through the anti-lick coating on a Switch cartridge?
Probably
I
out of pure
believe they
spite.
would. Yeah.
Yeah, out of fucking pure spite. Like one of the other rabbits we used to have before she passed away of old age at like 8, which is very old for a rabbit. has eaten through like cords that I know were like plugged into mains, and I don't know how she didn't explode. So
spite, as you said.
Yeah, she knew it was one of my cords, so of course she's going to go straight through it. But my partner's cords, no, those don't get touched. I'm not bitter at all, I swear.
No, definitely not. Looking forward to Steve's edible thumbstick food review starting next week.
What about you, Pat? You got any tech problems?
I mean, I just talked about how my computer won't go to sleep.
Maybe
no matter how much I beg it to.
Put some chloroform on
it. Okay, let's just stop this thread right now. I have had my laptop replaced at work, so on the back of that chat about my phone battery lasting, laptop battery out the window. See you later. Leave it unplugged for 30 minutes. Oh, where'd all the battery go? Gotta basically leave it plugged in like a desktop. But work gave me a new laptop on Windows 11. Bricked it.
Oh, already? What'd you do?
I didn't do anything. I logged into it. The taskbar didn't, and the taskbar's gone. You can't press start to open the start menu or anything. And apparently, it's a semi-common problem. ICT guy looked at me like I was insane. Said, "Here, try this one." Brick that one.
Didn't your ICT guy also say that he's going to quit his job specifically to stop serving you your problems?
Well, that was after I bricked the next two. Yeah.
Man, sounds like a good relationship you two have.
Well, sounds like you've got a good relationship with bricks.
Hey, if you want one, there's one coming through your window anytime now.
I'm waiting for it.
Yeah, so it was decided that I'm one of the only people at my company that is not allowed a Windows 11 machine. And as Saif stole the punchline too, the ICT guy, it wasn't like threatened to quit. Just told me he would quit by the time I had to upgrade to Windows 11, which gives me roughly about 3 years.
Provided you don't brick it beforehand, like.
True. But unfortunately, even though the tech problem was sorted with Windows 10, I didn't actually. No, that's a lie. It got sorted, and I'm now on a Windows 10 machine. And I got donuts.
Well, using 10 Windows machines? That's a bit too much.
That's fine, I mean, what can I say?
Have you heard how many he's bricked so far?
It's only a matter of time before I make it through the next 10. Much like your bunny and thumbsticks.
The real thumbsticks were the ones that the bunny ate along the way.
True. Picture thumbsticks as bricks, and I'm the bunny. Wait, wrong analogy.
So they're not bricking, you're just chewing through them.
Num, Pat, num.
Nibbling on their batteries.
Well, let me tell you, there's nothing bricks a laptop faster than human teeth marks going through the motherboard.
Probably all that saliva you got on it.
You know what? I wouldn't have to do it if they finally used the Switch anti-lick coating. But no, they don't use that on the laptop, so what am I supposed to do?
The thing is, I feel like the motherboard's supposed to shock you a little bit when your tongue comes into contact.
Yeah, but it's no worse than like testing if a 9-volt battery still has charge.
You know what? Fair point.
That's true.
Play on. Right, well, now that we're in this inescapable hellhole of some ungodly amount of time spent on me talking about chewing through laptops provided by my employer, definitely not true. I treat technology very well. Shall we get into Run the Lounge for this week?
I guess.
You're cool, big fella. Should we?
Okay,
you are the host. You decide these things.
Let me try that again. Shut the fuck up, both of you. We're going into Run the Lounge.
Okay, you're gonna...
Are you going
see? There we go. No, I had to see. There was the awkward silence before, and I wanted to see if it would continue. It would. Excellent. You're falling in line. I like this. Finally.
I was waiting for you to do the thing where you ask one of us how our week went.
Well, okay. You know what? No, fuck you. Patrick, how was your week? Well, thanks, Patrick. I've been playing Need for Speed Unbound because Josh still isn't here. We can't talk about Pokemon yet. That's coming next week, whether he's here or not. That's an ultimatum put forward by all of us because I haven't played Pokemon in like 2 weeks now, and to be honest, I'm starting to forget bits of it. I've been playing Need for Speed Unbound. I have thoughts. I will talk about those thoughts. Saif, Pokemon update and what you've been up to this week.
I'm still working on the Pokédex. The Salamence and Tyranitar event just started, so I got a Salamence since that's a Violent exclusive. I will be talking about the Forspoken demo that just came out today. Evergreen content. Fresh content.
That's, I'll be honest, kind of weird for Fast Travel Lounge, but hopefully our listeners are okay with something that new.
Yeah. Actually, can you come back in about 4 years?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, rats.
I mean, the thing is, by the time anyone listens to this, it'll have been like another few days, but it's still weird to say that you played something that came out today. Like, even, was it Pokemon that we finished recording and we're like, yeah, it's going to come out tonight? Or was that? Maybe that was a Rise update.
No, it's Pokemon.
That was
Pokemon. We recorded
yeah.
on the Thursday and it was coming out at like midnight that day.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And then I woke up to all these messages from you guys at 3 a.m. going, oh my god, I'm in Pokemon.
I wasn't part of that. I didn't play the game until a sane time, like a normal person.
Patrick, you literally are 2 hours ahead of us. You literally could have been the first one to play it. But no, I've got to go to bed. I'm tired. Got to get that new Zussie. I don't know what you guys call it over there. I'm not apologizing either.
I appreciate
wages? were you trying to say the word wages or pay?
Wait, Jussie.
I don't think that's the word, Seth. I'll be honest.
It'd be
the
like
bird might be the word, but that is definitely not it. Steve, what are you Pokemon update? What have you been up to this week?
So Pokemon, I am still on my way to complete the Pokedex. I think I'm at like 370 or something.
Oh, you're pretty damn close then. I'm somewhere around 320 at the moment.
320 blazing, all right, fellas.
I'm still 300, I think, just in case anyone cares.
Yeah, don't remember asking.
Sorry, continue. No, I just realized I didn't give my update before Need for Speed.
Yeah. And I am, because it leaves Xbox Game Pass on the 15th of December, I'm playing everybody's favorite 2017 Dragon Quest game, Dragon Quest XI, Echoes of it.
I'd be mean about Microsoft, but we're going to be mean later, and I've already been mean already.
Yeah, treated me, keeping my chemo, really. Yeah, I'm not going to talk about it this week. Like, I'm still quite early.
What was that thing that we might be mean to Microsoft later? That's right, we're double teasing the thing that's going to come up in the news section.
The multiple things.
Don't like this. But yeah, like I'm only 10 hours into it. It's a 50-hour game. I'm going to leave my thoughts until next week. Hopefully I finish it by the end of, like literally next Wednesday. Because if I don't, then there's nothing worse in this entire world than playing half a game, in my opinion. And it's quite a good game. I'm having fun with it so far.
I mean, if it leaves Game Pass, you can just buy it, right?
Yeah, I'm not going to be doing that.
Not even for $30?
My man's money's going to thumbsticks, Seth. Leave him alone.
Yes.
He just admitted it was $2 for the thumbsticks. He's got plenty. That gives him $28 to spend on video games.
Exactly. And you know what? Either he could buy, quick math, 120 thumbsticks, or he could buy a $30 game. You tell me which one you'd rather do.
That was very quick math, man. Good work. Well, apparently it's $54.95, so it's
still out of your price range.
Yeah, just a little.
You could buy 220 thumbsticks. Yeah. Eat 219 of those.
Yeah, what
or you can buy Dragon Quest XI at full price.
I don't know, full price.
Trade offer.
It doesn't sit. It doesn't sit right buying a game at full price.
It's trade offer meme guy.
And wait till you hear about how much I was going to spend on a game if they let me.
It's the is that going to come up in news as well? Was this the triple tease?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Okay. Good. I was waiting for a yes or no. Okay, cool. Dragon Quest XI. Just as a taster for you discussing it, probably not next week because that'll be Pokemon, or I will actually possibly hurt someone. Did you have to play the first 10 Dragon Quest to get caught up on the story?
No, I didn't. I
just feel like you're missing out.
Well, no. So it's actually split into 22 games. There's 11 Dragon, so it's Dragon up 1 to 11, and then there's Quest 1 to 11. So Dragon Quest 11 is a combination. It's a crossover event, if you will.
Yeah. Okay, I got you. Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, why don't we get through the evergreen content first in the Fast Travel Lounge exclusive, which is not going to be heard for a few days, and people will publish their own thoughts about the demos. But ours will be better. Seth, Forspoken.
So Forspoken.
Have you been Forspoken for with how good this demo is?
Good is a very strong word that I would not use. To sum up my thoughts in 2 words, it's shit.
Okay, so that was 1 word.
No, 2 words. It's and shit.
Oh, okay, you counted it's as part of that.
Yes.
Hang on, let's back up. When is this game coming out?
Next month, I think.
Oh shit!
So never.
Unless it got delayed. No, it's coming out next month.
Yeah, so this podcast will come out next week, so they've got 3 weeks to fix it up? Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah, something like that, if it hasn't gone gold already. But then there's also day 1 patches, I guess.
Yeah, that's a thing. Yeah, anyway, sorry, didn't mean to interrupt. I did, but anyway, continue.
Well, you did.
So I'm going to make it sound like a worse deal than it actually is. But within 30 seconds of picking up the controller and playing the game, I got myself stuck in a very tiny nook and cranny section that it wasn't actually stuck. It's like I tried running up a pillar, got stuck into the pillar for like half a second and then bounced back out. And I was just like, come on, game. I've literally just picked up the controller. How are you already messing up on me? But no. So I've talked at length before about how I think the parkour is going to be the only good part of this game to me, because everything else looks like it was going to be boring or not interesting.
Can you give a 30-second what Forspoken's kind of elevator pitch is? Because all I know about the game is what I saw of the trailer and went, wow, this looks like something that I would not play. But what is the point? What is the pitch?
Right. So Forspoken is a game where a New Yorker girl, Faye, gets transported, or in layman's terms, isekai'd into...
Yeah, that's the layman's
Shut up. Get out of here.
Thank you for breaking it down to everyday language that we use.
She gets transported to a world known as Aphia, where she comes across a magical cuff, and she starts getting a lot of magical powers.
I'll be honest, I could absolutely confuse you with describing the start of Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah, a little bit.
If the girl's name was America.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she gets magical powers, and it's kind of up. She's like the only person that can go out into this diseased area of the world. I think it's just called miasma in the world.
What's the... Sorry, that was the layman term. What was the scientific term?
Coffee gas.
Yeah.
Coughing gas.
I was going to say some cloudy shit. Yeah, coffee gas works.
Actually, it's more turns people into zombies gas.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, so she's like the only person that can survive out there, and it's like this 90% of the world is covered in it. So she's being tasked with going out and sorting out the world's problems for the duration of the game, as far as we know. But yeah, one of the big elements that they've shown off in all of the trailers is just how fluid the movement is supposed to look like. There's a lot of really good parkour shots in every trailer.
It really makes you feel like a New Yorker?
Pardon?
What?
It really makes you feel like a New Yorker?
I think it's supposed to make you feel like Spider-Man, yeah.
I don't know what that reference you're doing is, Pat, but yeah.
Well, I mean, if Batman was isekai'd to Apia, then it would be really makes you feel like Batman. But a New Yorker is transported to... Sorry, isekai'd, my bad. To Apia, so... yeah.
Thank you for
worries.
using the scientific term.
Yeah. We are intellectuals here. So therefore, when you're traversing the world as a New Yorker, it really makes you feel like a New Yorker.
Okay.
You're the one that made fucking like Krispy Kreme ussy jokes earlier, right? You have no horse to fucking ride in this argument.
I'm riding the Krispy Kreme horse.
Go back to raw dogging your thumbstick. Seth, carry on.
Yeah, so my thoughts on this are going to be all over the place, because I literally played it for like an hour before we started recording, and yeah, so it's still fresh, but I'm still kind of putting my thoughts together about it. But my main takeaway is that the part of the game that looks like it was going to be fun in trailers actually feels like dog shit to play in my actual hands. Like, Faye, the main character, feels really sluggish, and like she's moving
play
like...
with dog shit in your hands?
Not intentionally, no.
I didn't have a follow-up. I was shocked by that.
I was waiting for a follow-up.
Yeah, I didn't think you'd be waiting for a follow-up. I guess that's on me. That's on my bad. My bad, Seth, continue.
Yeah, so she feels like a brick sliding across the floor whenever she's moving. Like, I don't know, it's just like she feels really sluggish and rough to move around in. But when she starts parkouring and gets into the air, she's also got moon physics. And moon physics I'd be fine with, but it's the combination of she feels really sluggish to move around in, as well as floating everywhere, that just kind of makes it feel awful. They also didn't tutorialize me on it, but there was a zipline mechanic as well that I just kind of figured out on my own by pressing the square button. It wasn't... So I went into the menus and looked at the controls, and it didn't even show up there. Like, it just showed your main gameplay controls of like, oh, here's how to shoot, here's how to change all your stuff. But yeah, so there was nothing on like the face buttons except for jump and sprint. And So it was like, I'm seeing all these protrusions out on walls that I should be able to grapple onto because I've seen that in trailers. I just don't know how to, and it took me like 20 minutes to figure that out.
Do you think the lack of tutorial is just kind of like a consequence of what's being demoed? Like, were you put into the game after where a tutorial would probably be?
They actually give you a small tutorial when you load in. It's like, it asks you if you want to begin a tutorial or not. And if I picked yes just so I'd see what
and
it
you
is.
picked no because you knew better than the developers. I get you. I get you.
Yeah, no, I had to go all Aaron Hansen and hit no, and then when I didn't know how to play the game, call the game shit. No, I hit yes on that, and the first thing it teaches you is, here's how to sprint, like using the parkour sprint. Just hold down circle and jump over these little obstacles. And it's like, here's your attacking magic, do some damage. Here's your defending magic, do some damage with that. And now go out into the world. So it was just like very basic tutorial section.
Right.
Going onto the magic though, I guess, for combat, it's broken up into, like I said, the attacking magic and defending magic. So your right trigger and right bumper are what you use for attacking. Right trigger is actually using the commands, and right bumper brings up like a Ratchet and Clank style weapon wheel. You also get to switch between two elements. You've got stone magic and fire magic in this demo. So I'm going to break it down through the fire magic, I guess, because that's the one I kind of use the most, and it's the easiest one to like identify between the three different aspects of them. If you just tap the right trigger or R2, you'll just do a flurry of sword slashes no matter what magic spell you have equipped at the moment. It's when you hold it is what changes the spell that you've got selected. So you've got one that does like hold it down and you'll just stand in place and charge like an arcing sword slash, or you can switch with right bumper to have a spear where you hold it down and then throw a spear that once it's lodged into an enemy will explode into like from the inside of the enemy into like a spiral of spears, which is pretty neat. And the third one was hold down right trigger and you'll do a flurry of punches until she decides to stop and starts charging like a force push kind of attack. Like she puts out her hands like she's doing a Kamehameha or a Hadouken and does like a mini explosion in front of her.
Oh.
Hadouken! Furogen!
And yeah, so it's things like that. It's like holding down the trigger is what will be the element change, but like just tapping the button is always going to be standard across whatever element you have selected. So for fire, it was just a flurry of slashes, and for rock, it was like infamous Second Son style smoke blasts, but every fifth one was a more powerful shot, and that would add more delay after that one between when you could fire out another shot.
Right. So kind of almost like a combo chain sort of thing.
Yeah. More like a combo chain, yeah. And then defensive ones are just like more gimmicky attacks. Like for fire, I ended up unlocking things like having two swords that stay out next to you and they'll just attack on their own when they can, or charge into an enemy, or do a kick that sends an enemy backwards and turns them into a live grenade that'll blow up like 2 seconds later. So there's some neat spells in there. It's just it didn't feel satisfying to play. Like the attacks feel like you're hitting sandbags at times instead of like actual enemies with hit stun or hit detection.
Right, so it's like a lack of weightiness to the attack sort of thing?
Yeah, lack of weightiness. At times, enemies will sometimes stagger, or they'll decide, nah, fuck it, I'm just going to attack through.
Oh, God, I played something that had that problem, and it's so frustrating.
It's the same developers that made Final Fantasy 15, and I feel like it's got all the same combat problems that Final Fantasy 15 had. Like, just in terms of, like, everything feels like just a little wrong. There's not enough weight to your attacks. The enemies don't react as you think they should. Those sort of complaints.
Yeah. The timing's a bit off.
Yeah.
And
they've gone a step back in that there's actually no blocking mechanics in this game. It's either you dodge, or when you get hit, your the magical cup is going to automatically block for you up to a certain point. And so I was just constantly just taking little nibbly bits of damage. And the HP bar in this game is tiny. It's like a very, very small heart icon and very thin bar at the bottom left of the screen. Like, it's really out of the way and very small. And the only reason I knew I was hurt is because the cuff would yell out, "I'm hurt," and because it
because
it got
you
like
were on the floor bleeding out.
Yeah, it's not so much that, because she just kind of walks through enemy attacks unless it's like a very big one.
Oh wait, so you don't get staggered?
Yeah, no, you don't get staggered unless it's like a very big attack.
So you can just take chip until you die.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's the that is the same problem with the Rocksteady mental in Monster Hunter World, where if you get hit by something like a Valhazak beam, normally you get hit with one instance of it, and then you get put into hit stun, and then you can't take any more instances until the beam's over. But because you're getting
rid of all the hit stun, you just take through like three of them in a row.
Yeah, 3 instances, and then you just die instantly.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, chip without hit stun into something like lethal chip without hit stun is such a pain, because it means that there's something else that you just have to constantly watch for.
Yeah, and like I said, this is like a very small bar on the bottom of the corner, so it's out of the way and annoying to keep up with. They give you a lot of healing items to keep up with, though, and they actually learned from Final Fantasy 15 you can't get like an infinite stock of potions to just stay alive. Instead, you've got like a Dark Souls style cap, like, so the demo gives you a cap of 11 potions that top you all the way back up to max health.
Max health of 2.
Yeah, the max health of 2. Yeah, and that's kind of a brief overview of like the mechanics of the game, I guess. Basically, what the demo.
Yeah, I was going to ask if there was any. So you were saying the parkour was the main selling point in terms of the fluidity of it, and it didn't feel great. But you described the kind of how the attacking works. What other than was it just the sort of floatiness of the parkour that wasn't great with, like, I guess what I'm trying to get to is you described what it's like to attack something, but a lot of the bits of the demo that I saw, or the trailer rather, of what I saw being played is you kind of whipping around the battlefield. Is the floatiness also working against you, or like too much? I don't think it's a visual noise problem, but maybe just unfocused combat. Like, what's the...
Yeah, so the parkour button is also what acts as your dodge button. So yeah, it's got like that mix of you're using the parkour sprint to get away out of attacks, and it has that Final Fantasy 15 when you press attack you magnetize to enemies sort of thing. Like if you're using a melee attack, if you're using like the stone blast, then you're just going to do it from where you are. They do a neat thing where like well, I say neat, but it's only neat with the rocks. If you're in the middle of parkouring and you hit the attack button, you'll do like a sliding parkour animation, or like if you're in the air doing a flip and do an attack. So it kind of blends them together.
The fact that only exists for rock is concerning.
Yeah, so it exists for the flame as well, but like I said, with the flame, your attack is doing sword slices. So what it does is it does the Final Fantasy 15 problem where you magnetize towards enemies really jankily and start attacking them up in their face again. So it exists, but it's putting you're trying to dodge out of the way, and it is putting you right back into the fray of the fight.
Yeah, so it's like a mixed signal option.
Yeah, but
sorry, I completely sidetracked you after the combat mechanics. You're going to move on to something else. I was just curious, but you're about to move on. I was going to
move on to what the demo actually has you doing, which I would have touched on, like how that goes with the parkour as well, kind of.
Please tell me it's taking photos of Spider-Man.
No.
Stop saying that.
They actually do have little areas marked on the map though where they're like, this is a good photo spot. Go here.
And in the background of the photo, you just see not Andrew Garfield, Tom Holland. You just see Tom Holland cheekily peeking out from behind a rock.
Man, of course it's Tom Holland. The game couldn't even cash out for Tobey Maguire.
I mean,
you reckon Tobey Maguire costs a lot of money?
If I were Tobey Maguire, I would cost a lot of money, yes.
Yeah, I'd say so. Anyway, what the demo has is it queues up like 5 missions to just kind of get you like into a flow. You'll basically go in like down the middle of the map, all the way through, and just hit these little checkpoints along the way. So your first stop is going into a cabin where you'll learn to explore your surroundings, do some crafting, do some upgrading, and queue up some weapon upgrade missions. So you have like a skill tree for each element, and within each of those skill trees, you can also level up the spells even further. And that's where like this little hut comes in. You got to go in there and queue up those missions. Then from there you go fight a couple of enemies to open up a chest, and it kind of teaches you about treasure out in the world.
Is there a loot rarity system?
I don't know. I think it's all craftable materials and upgrade materials out in the world.
Okay.
I would highly suspect that this has different colored materials at the very least. So different colored like weapons and tiers at the very least.
That's what I'm expecting. It's got all the hallmarks of it, eh?
No, it's very much based on like the Final Fantasy type of style, where it's like you go from an like a bronze bangle to an iron bangle and so on. So like they tier up instead of having loot system style.
Yeah, you can't get like an epic rarity iron grate sort of butt fucking or something.
No.
Okay.
But it's also like modern Final Fantasy style, where it's like, but you can also upgrade all your older stuff so that they stay good for longer, rather than being outclassed as soon as you get another equipment. So you might have something that's like more health than what you currently have, but if you upgrade what you have right now, it can be more effective depending on your play style, sort of thing. So it's that sort of equipment system.
Is that the same thing for both armor and weapons?
Yeah, it works both ways. On this and accessories.
So is armor just sort of like one piece, or is it like gloves, braces, top half, bottom half, socks and boots or something?
So armor in this is your cape, and your weapons is your nail decorations on each hand. So you'll have you'll have one hand doing one element and another hand doing the other element.
Because there's nothing more I hate when it's like, oh, my socks aren't the best number. Okay, that seems better. That seems better.
It's like
but if both of your socks are from the same set, you get a power up.
Both socks.
But
yeah, I hate that.
It's those three plus an accessory, so it's just 4 pieces of equipment you got to keep an eye on. So it's not too much to handle. But yeah, by the end, it's like you've done a full lap, not a full lap, like a full line through, and then where I got up to was like, okay, here's a hidden 6 mission. There's a really strong enemy, go fight it, but it's probably going to kill you, so go explore the world a little bit to level up and get stat boost so you can actually fight it. I got it to 3/4 of its health on my second try. First try, it just kind of bulldozed me after I got it like a quarter down. I'm like, no, I can do this. Got it to 3/4, died again.
Wait, 3/4, you took 3/4 of its health away, or you got it to 3/4 health?
I got it to 3/4. I took out 3/4 of its health on the second try.
Yeah, cool.
And then I died, and I'm like, it's 5 minutes away from recording. That fight took me about 10 minutes as it is. I'm just gonna stop there for now. And then came
yet
here.
You were still late.
I came in here. I came in here on time, and then I went and made a coffee.
He was logged into Discord before you, Big Pal. Something people in glass houses. So is this convinced you to get the game?
People in glass houses shouldn't throw bricks.
No, it hasn't. It hasn't convinced me to get the game. In fact, it's convinced me that even the one part of the game I thought was going to be fun is not.
Oh, okay.
The one remaining thing that I haven't heard you talk about is that the biggest thing I noticed from watching the trailer is that the world looks fucking empty.
Yeah,
is that still the case?
The world is pretty fucking empty. It's just littered with like small things like there's areas where it's got. So you know how Ubisoft towers in Assassin's Creed, it's like you climb up the tower and then you scan the environment?
Yes.
In this, it's got like little beacon areas instead, where instead of climbing up them, you just walk into the center of it and scan the environment, and it tells you all the things around your immediate vicinity.
You've discovered nothing.
So did it feel like a tutorial area?
It's like a very small...
I don't want to play devil's advocate for a demo game that sounds shit, but let me play devil's advocate for a minute. Is it just because it's either A, the starting area, or B, a tutorial area? Or C, is the demo not even the first hour or two of the game. It's its own separate thing.
I don't think it's its own separate thing. I think they've just quartered off like a small section of the beginning area of the game and probably given you some tools that you won't get until a little later. So you just kind of get like a feel for how the game is supposed to be in this like small just gameplay section. Like you don't really get any story in there. In fact, the one other thing I wanted to bring up real quickly before I cap this off is that there's a lot of dialogue between the main character and the cuff, and it is awful dialogue. Like you hear it in some of the trailers and it makes you cringe. They actually know that people hate it, so in the options menu they have a cuff chat frequency option where if you turn it down to the lower setting, they just put it down all the way at the bottom. They're only going to talk when it's important for story. That's it. They won't talk about anything else.
That is literally them. So they know it's going to be cringe. So they're giving you the option to turn it off just in case there is one funny thing and it's a funny meme and it explodes online. That's what it sounds like to me. It seems like they're hedging their bets.
I think they wrote all the things thinking it was going to be received really well, and from the first trailer, people hated it. So they put it in as we know people don't like this, but we've made this already, so here's an option to turn it off. Like, we can't just cut it out, but if you don't like it, then it's gone.
I don't know, it's something very rogue about, hey, we're going to do this thing, but if you don't like it, nah, it's fine, turn it off. Nah, don't worry about it.
It's like...
Yeah, we didn't like it anyway, either. Like, we didn't want to develop it, but, just in case you were interested.
We didn't want to spend all this money recording all the lines. You didn't want to spend all this money making sure there were trigger events for them to start talking. It just seems very rogue.
Yeah, no, it's very much like... They're not committing to their own ideas. Like, they're too afraid to commit.
Well, aren't we all commitment-phones in the end of the day? Okay. Hang on. So is this on PS4 and PS5?
Just PS5 and
PS4 plebs. We're not doing too well, are we?
I think the demo's just PS5, but when it's coming out, it's going to be on PS5 and PC.
Oh, and PC. Interesting.
Yeah.
Sorry, so people might actually be able to mod a decent game out of it.
Maybe.
What is this? A Bethesda game?
But yeah, that's me done on Forspoken. That went a little longer than I thought it would, and I really didn't like this at all.
It's okay. We're not going to talk about this again.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, this is your review for the game. Would you pick it up if it ever hits $20?
$20, maybe, just out of morbid curiosity on how the game ended up.
Yeah,
but I'd also fall into the trap of I've paid $20 now to see it, and now I've got to sit through a game I don't like because I don't want to leave it half finished.
Gun to your head: Forspoken or Babylon's Fall?
Oh, fucking hell! Really
and
comparing.
No, taking the bullet is not an option, no matter how much you ask.
Damn it. I don't know, because I don't know a whole lot about Babylon's Fall besides, like...
But Saif, that's the point. You know about Babylon's Fall.
Yeah, I know the situation around... I know the situation around Babylon's Fall, but
so
I don't
which
know,
one do you pick?
But I don't know if it actually plays better than this, which is why I'm so hesitant. Because I could probably get more joy out of hitting the buttons in Babylon's Fall than this, but I don't know for sure, so... out of safety, I'm going to say this.
Well, yeah, because this isn't an always online game, is it? Like, they're not going to turn the servers off at the wall and be like, hopefully you guys.
Yeah.
Well, see, joke's on you, because if you'd said Babylon's Fall, then the worst thing that happens is that you don't play it for a couple months and then it pulls the plug on itself anyway.
Yeah, I know.
I wonder how that one guy is doing right now.
I am literally... So, wait, did the servers of Babylon's Fall already go offline?
No, I think they go offline soon,
next month?
Yeah, next month, I think.
I want to say February plus or minus a month.
Yeah, I was thinking around March, but I think it's going to be February, so it won't even last an entire year.
That's right. Yeah, no, that's exactly what it was, because they were shutting it down after 11 months. Yeah.
All right, so I'm
that's funny.
Steam player count. I take a bet. How many players do you guys think are playing right now?
Babylon's Fall?
Babylon's Fall. How many people are playing it?
3.
Seth said 3. I'm going to say 4. Fuck you, Seth.
Well, I'm sorry, fellas. 0 players right now.
Oh no, even the one guy didn't stick around.
That's so fucking embarrassing.
Holy shit.
0 players right now, 0 in the 24-hour peak, 101 all-time peak. That's so fucking sad.
Oh my god.
These stats are from the 24th of November to the 1st of December, so having 101 players. There seems to have been a big spike on November the 30th for some reason.
People reminiscing about the good old days.
Well, I say big spike, it says 8 players.
That's two whole groups.
That's so fucking sad. Man, sorry Square, but all the best. Maybe live service games are the cancer of the industry.
The thing is, that was Platinum's idea. It wasn't Square's idea.
Square, I reckon Square should just double down on crypto and Bitcoin.
You know what? You're kicking you out. So there are these pictures of these apes, right? And they don't
Are they
look
as bored as
excited.
people that play Babylon's Fall?
That's why they're bored.
It brings us to the end of part 1 for this week, as is tradition, which means we get to move on to part 2 for this week, which is, of course, the news. Good news. Microsoft has collaborated with Calm to bring you the soothing sounds of screaming gut grunts and plasma fire.
I forgot to pull up this article. I was waiting for the next docket.
Yeah, don't worry. I had you. Don't worry. This will never get past me.
Take them away, toys.
I think this is quite interesting. A video game music is always I listen to it in the background while I'm working and doing spreadsheets and whatever it is I do.
I might say something controversial here, Steve. I think the Halo soundtrack is good enough that could have been in the meditation app rather than the sound of screaming grunts and plasma gunfire.
Look, it's different strokes, I guess. I think they've got sounds from Gears of War as well, like the chainsaw.
Yes, the calming noise of a chainsaw in Gears of War.
Yeah, I think they've got a bunch of Sea of Thieves stuff as well, and they don't really actually have to
just full-on sea shanties while you're meditating. That'd be pretty sick, actually.
Yeah.
Do you think they would have gone the extra mile and paid for a license to have Breaking Benjamin back in the app?
Man, what are they doing these days?
At that point, aren't you just turning the Calm meditation app into Spotify?
Maybe.
Or maybe the best AMV app of all time.
Yo, true.
You put on the AR goggles and you just see Master Chief doing Orange Justice while Breaking Benjamin is playing.
Yeah. Yeah, so it does, if you're into the Calm app, I believe it's a good meditation app. I've heard really good things online, but I don't know a single person in real life that uses it.
the bot farms in Southeast Asia assure me that it's an excellent app that I should download.
It is good. Please do it. And the next 10 minutes, if you use the code FTL, for 10% off. But yeah,
this is not a real code. We do not endorse this.
Unless
it's all fun and games when I joke about the million sponsors we have, but I would never actually fool the audience into thinking we have a code.
I think you did at one point. Or was that Josh?
Hey, Saif, shut up. Anyway,
it's out there if you want it. I just think it's very interesting that it started to put video game stuff on there. Will we eventually get to the stage where we've got beeps and boops from Mario, the original first Mario? Yeah, I'll leave it at that.
$15 a month?
Yeah, it's pretty pricey for what it is. Yeah, that's why I didn't say that.
Oh, I'm sorry. You thought you could take care of your mental health for free?
I'd hope so.
Sorry.
What are you, poor?
Yes.
$15 a month. I didn't realize it was that bad. Man, I regret this. Anyway, move on. Let's cut to commercial.
$15 a month, but $70 a year, which is a pretty steep discount.
But why pay $70 a year when you could pay a one-off payment of $70 and get Monster Hunter Rise on pretty much every platform coming January 2023?
Or have it on Game Pass.
Fucking magnificent segue.
Yeah, he's done it. He's done it, fellas. This is good.
Thank you.
It's coming to Game Pass day one, which is I'm always excited for. It's how I play.
You know what? I was going to go onto the exact same tangent of breaking Patrick's segue by saying you don't even have to pay the $70 because if you pay $1 for Game Pass, then you can get it for free day one.
Which is day one as well. That's really big. So
which doesn't surprise me because Sunbreak is a fairly old game at this point.
Yeah, so that's what I was going to ask. So hang on, wait a minute. So it's Monster Hunter Rise is the game. And Sunbreak is the DLC, the expansion.
Yes.
Okay, cool. And is Sunbreak free?
No, Sunbreak you'll have to pay for.
Right.
And Sunbreak at this point is 70% of the game.
Yeah, from judging from what you guys have said, it's no longer.
Do we need to pull out the previous Patrick round?
No.
Seth will do it.
When Sunbreak came out, it felt like it matched what Rise had with Rise's DLC, and it's just been building on top since.
True. Actually, we haven't even hit it yet, but the latest November update, the free update, is sitting unplayed in my Steam library.
Oh,
that's so weird. All of the free updates have been sitting unplayed in my Steam library.
Well, they actually really sit in your Steam library if you haven't downloaded them.
No, they've been downloaded. I just haven't actually played it.
Oh,
I never took Monster Hunter off my hard drive.
All right then, Roland. That's your job for tonight.
Well, yeah. So anyone that hasn't played, well, particularly anyone with Game Pass, fucking go and play it. It's fantastic. But yeah, no, it's awesome that it's coming to pretty much every platform. It's kind of a shame in hindsight that they started on the Switch and then branched out, because if they started on literally any other platform, the technical capabilities would be so much higher.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no. That's like the one aspect of the game that sucks, is that it's still a Switch game and so it's got every limitation that came with being on the Switch.
Yeah.
Which is kind of the same thing that happened to Sonic Frontiers.
You and your fucking Sonic Frontiers. Everything comes back to Sonic, doesn't it?
Yes, either that or Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah, that's all right. That's fair.
Or Stranger of Paradise.
We haven't talked about
what a
that.
good fucking game.
Yeah. Keep telling yourself that.
Well, speaking of something that starts with Nintendo, the next phase of Call of Duty, if acquired by Microsoft, will also start with Nintendo after signing a 10-year agreement to bring Call of Duty to Nintendo platforms. Boom, how does he do it? Segue 2 out of 2, let's go. This is... it's great news, but what the fuck are they going to bring to the Switch?
Yeah.
Fucking cloud versions, that's what.
So, maybe this is because I don't play online sort of games on the Switch. How is the Switch infrastructure for this? Is it going to be any good? Can it run multiple, multiplayer games?
I'm ashamed to admit that I have played a single game of Fortnite on the Switch, and
you're out.
That went fine. So I don't...
Not just controller, but a Switch has at that.
I was desperate, okay? I was curious to play literally anything. I was at rock bottom. What I mean to say is something like Warzone, right?
Warzone's the Battle Royale one, yeah.
I could see them trying to get a version of that onto Switch, but I don't see them getting the whatever the sequel to Modern Warfare 2 is.
I think it's Modern Warfare 2, isn't it? It's
now we have to wait a couple of years for them to release Modern Warfare 2 again. It's
literally becoming the Skyrim of FPSs, isn't it? They caught lightning in a bottle once, they will never do it again.
Yeah.
So to do my whole conspiracy theorist angle at this announcement happened the day before Microsoft's deal was going to go through a vote at the FTC. So this feels like a smoke and mirrors illusion to go, hey, no, it's not that bad. Let us buy Activision. Look, we're going to put it on Nintendo. It hasn't been on Nintendo for so long, but we're going to be committed to do it for the next 10 years. And look at this. Even Steam is signing on for it. And in reality, Gabe Newell came out and said, no, we don't need that commitment. They keep putting Call of Duty on Steam anyway because it sells well here. They're not going to take it off. We trust them.
That was my conspiracy theory had as well, but these type of discussions don't happen overnight. Like Jim Ryan didn't go straight up to Doug Bowser and be like, oh, hey, can we quickly do this?
It doesn't happen overnight, but this does feel like a thing of the European board was putting it into scrutiny long enough ago that I feel like that was enough time for it to happen. It's just that this announcement coincided with the day before the FTC ruling was going to happen.
Yeah, very, very sus. You might say it's a bit of a sussy bucker situation going on.
I thought you were going for any...
Literally anything else?
I was going to say, ideally, some sort of segue, because that's what we do here on Fast Travel Lounge. But you know what?
Segue?
I've been disappointed before. I will be disappointed again.
You're welcome, by the way.
I don't feel very welcome.
So what's the next segue?
I'm trying to think of one. I can't think of one.
You can just do a hard one. G said.
That's really not helping. Nintendo decided that life was too good to go around not slapping random YouTube channels with cease and desist. So they've corrected that. They've course corrected. Targeting Did You Know Gaming's video on Heroes of Hyrule. Wahoo!
it's fucked up when Nintendo is making you cheer for Did You Know Gaming, like putting them in the right. This is such. So, Did You Know Gaming is, as a thing, is fine, but the way they handle their YouTube channel is the fucking worst because they just go around stealing other people's content and making it their own. Like, in terms of footage and things.
Yeah, I've heard about this channel.
Yeah.
In the last 12 months, they have been a lot better about that kind of stuff. And they do put
have they?
Yeah, because I'm a big fan of it, to be honest. They do put a bit of a, not a bit, like actually say like footage taken from such and such. I'm not sure if that was like after they got in trouble or if they were getting called out.
Oh no, they've always done that, but the problem is they never actually asked the people. They just went and took the footage.
Well, because they're just looking for gameplay footage.
But they could record it themselves.
They're probably too busy doing the video or something.
Seth, warm up the bus. We're about to throw something under it.
Yeah. Well, so essentially, I watched this video that Nintendo strike down. It is on like a rumored Legend of Zelda Tactics game, for lack of a better word. And it looked like...
Yeah, this is like an actual like investigative piece as well.
Yeah, they spoke to like concept artists at Rare and one of the ex-programmers.
Retro Studios.
Sorry, you're right. Yeah, I always get them confused because they start with an R. And they both have
both made Donkey Kong Country games.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. So they tried to do it. The higher ups at Retro didn't really go for it, but it did get fleshed out a bit. So they just sort of started talking about that. And it's just sort of very interesting piece of not lost media, but what could have been in a parallel universe. This game came out for better or worse. But yeah, and Nintendo, for whatever reason, even though Did You Know Gaming has a bunch of Nintendo stuff on their channel, this one's been stricken down. Got DMCA'd. Yeah.
It's just like, no, do not reveal our hidden vault secrets.
Yeah, which is strange because they just did another video the other day, actually, on a prototype Metroid Prime game that was being made by Rare, and that's where I was getting confused.
Oh, okay, yeah, I know of one where they just did one for F-Zero as well, and...
Yeah, that was last week's video, yeah.
Yeah. The F-Zero one is actually very good as well.
Yeah, it's very interesting as well. It just seemed like... And if you look at those sales numbers for F-Zero, those games did not fucking sell.
Yeah, no, it's so shocking to see that, like, the first one was the one that sold the best.
Yeah. And
it was just constant downturns every new release.
Yeah, but maybe it's because Captain Falcon's in Smash that it's got this weird cult following about it. But yeah, like those games, what I think the new one that came out...
It's a very vocal, small fan base.
Very small minority. Like what the one that was out on the Wii sold like less... Oh, sorry, the GameCube sold less than 100,000 copies worldwide. And you're like, oh, shit.
Yeah, something like that. And I think most of the sales come from Europe, which is why the video made a deal of like, yeah, no, Nintendo of Europe was the ones that were always putting their neck out on the line for F-Zero.
Which is, strange. Yeah. Anyway, Did You Know Gaming? Check them out. They're pretty good.
Cool. Well, next up on the list, Steve, you're a man of culture.
I am.
Is he?
I'd like to say I am.
Hypothetically, just roll with me here. You have Game Pass, correct?
I do. I recently we got a 3-year subscription by pretending that I'm from Turkey.
Congratulations.
So you don't even pay Microsoft all the money for Game Pass that they're asking for?
I do not pay Australian
You're not paying
Microsoft.
full price.
I am paying full price in another country. I am paying another country's full price.
It's interesting you mentioned full price, actually, because full price for a game would be... What sort of ballpark would we be thinking here?
109, I think.
50... Well,
60
more
American
like
dollars?
Yeah, US dollars. Like,
for the purposes of the bit, 60 American dollars?
60 perhaps?
Not that I bought a full price game for a while.
Surely it wouldn't be even higher than, what? 70
$70
US dollars
for a video game? Surely not.
70 of your hard-earned dollary dues can go towards any Microsoft game of your choosing.
It was just last month as well that Microsoft came out and said, yeah, no, we're comfortable with the price we're at now. We don't see a reason to increase to $70.
They did hint. They were like, yeah, for like Thanksgiving and Christmas, yeah, we're gonna keep the price where we are because everything else was going up in price.
Yeah, it was the way that they said it was like, oh, all right, like you're having a fucking laugh, mate. But
it's gonna happen eventually. You're just making it, the way they made it sound was like it sounded like maybe a decision for next year, not a month after that statement.
Yeah, it comes. The price rises do come next year, but it definitely does feel a lot like, oh yeah, no, it'll be cheap for now. Like PlayStation, remember them? They rose it now. It does sort of feel like because PlayStation
true.
did all right with it.
I bought Unbound for full price, and
I look forward to seeing what games they decide to put at $70 when they decide to announce any.
True.
Well, see, that's a hard point for Microsoft to do as well, because they release games on PC at the same time as well as Game Pass day one. So, like, it's just a bit. They're in a very awkward situation.
Oh my God, Steve, we get it. Your Game Pass just went up in value because of the increased cost.
I was just about to say the opposite. I'm like, if they're rising the prices of games, like Game Pass might go up.
Bro,
that's why I got a 3-year subscription.
3 years, you're golden. Yeah.
Well, what if they decide to be like, you know what, Steve? Because it's going up, you got
money.
No more turkey money. Gobble gobble. They might just be
Isn't
like,
it
well,
crazy that he always buys Game Pass in Turkey, but he always plays from Australia? He must be on a VPN in Turkey.
The Australian servers are a lot more stable. But hey, the loophole exists. If they didn't want me to do it, they'd stop the loophole. I don't know how they would, but they'd do it.
Definitely feels like a you win either way type situation, I'll be honest.
Well, inflation's hitting us all. And if you don't believe me,
don't.
Google Steven inflation.
Google Master Chief inflation.
Don't do that.
We here at a Fast Travel Lounge do not condone inflation.
I don't care how much turkey money Steve offers you. Don't do it.
What if I offered you an inflated amount of dollars?
Yeah, definitely don't do that. Of course, we all know why the price of games are going up. Some morons out there might say it's because increased cost of living, larger amounts of global uncertainty, probably going into a recession. Yeah, like we've been hearing.
It's been $60 for the last 20 years. We needed to raise it at some point.
No, we don't. They just need to cut costs.
No. We know that it's all really so that way we can fund Bobby Kotick's golden parachute when Microsoft takes over Activision Blizzard. There, I said it. It's out in the world now.
You know what? That is a very good point. How is that golden parachute looking right now, Patrick? Last time we checked in, the golden parachute was about to deploy, right?
It was, and then our friends at the Federal Trade Commission looked at the golden parachute and went, you know what would make this parachute look even cooler? If we just if we put some speed holes. Yeah, exactly. Some speed holes in the canopy. And I mean, even more than that, if we arranged the speed holes to write the word sue in the canopy, because FTC is suing Microsoft to try and stop the acquisition, or at least to suspend it while they. I don't know. Are they actually trying to block it, or are they just trying to halt it for a bit?
They're trying to flat out block it.
Yes, they are actually trying to. Yeah. Okay. Cool. That's what I thought. Which naturally has our perfect diversity zero man himself, Bobby Kotick, in a bit of a panic because I think
not just him, but Phil Spencer too.
Well, I'm pretty sure it's because Kotick ordered. Was it like a yacht-shaped Ferrari for each of his family members, or was that just him?
No, it was just for him, but enough to cover his entire family. But they're all his. Oh,
right. So hang on, it was a Ferrari-shaped yacht and a yacht-shaped Ferrari.
Right. Yes, that one.
That's what it. Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah. 25 million can get you anything these days. It's crazy.
Might even like 3 Xbox games. Well, 6 Xbox games.
It'd be 4
from Turkey. Yeah.
Four if you're 4 if you pretend you're from Turkey.
Gobble gobble.
So the main reason the FTC is putting in this complaint as well is because
they're fucking dogs.
They feel that Microsoft will go against their word and actually lock content to their platforms after the merger happens. And Activision Blizzard King is a massive amount of stake in the gaming industry. Like, there's other big companies like Square Enix and Capcom and EA and Ubisoft. But Activision is like 1/3 of the Western market, I feel.
That's true. But so I saw a funny comment on social media about like Activision is a very big player and they do a lot of video games. but they don't do any good video games.
Yeah, but the facts of the matter is that it's that much of a market share.
It's
Steve, which part of that was the funny comment?
Yeah,
that's just sad.
That's sort of where I'm getting at.
But yeah, they also pointed to the ZeniMax purchase, saying that before they purchased it, they told the European Trade Union that they had no plans to make anything exclusive. But as soon as the purchase went through, instantly they locked off Starfield and Redfall as being exclusives. So Microsoft has a history of going, no, trust us, we'll be fine. We'll have everything released on every platform before the purchase happens. And the moment it starts, like, they turn their back on those promises and just go full monopoly mode.
Yeah.
So they feel that this is a good. They feel that this is where they should step in and stop the purchase from going through.
Not surprised, to be honest. Like, you can always trust a snake to be a snake, but then at the same time, like, so I know, so Starfield and Redfall are coming to the PC though, so it's that exclusive is a very fine line. It becomes a Xbox versus Microsoft, so Xbox versus PlayStation thing, as opposed to Xbox, PlayStation, PC, and I think that exclusive is just one of those weird words where exclusive for PlayStation means it'll come out a year later or 6 months onto PC, where exclusive for Microsoft means day one release for PC as well.
Yeah, it's more on the console market itself, because the PC market is treated separately from console market. Do we think we could get the FTC to look into stopping Epic Games from buying games I like and making them exclusive for a year? Because
that's weird, because that's on the same platform.
A game. Yeah, it's also like it's a game versus it's an entire company's worth of games.
Yeah, but
right, no. I'm not taking anything away from the Activision Blizzard stuff. I'm just saying, while we're here, can we also just like fuck over Epic real quick? That's all I'm asking.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'd like that, but it's like the scale is way off.
We just slip it in under the. It's a rounding error, surely.
Rounding error.
In the grand scheme of things.
All I'm saying is I don't think Sifu compares to an entire Activision library of games.
Like what?
Like
Overwatch 2?
Like,
oh, sorry, that's Blizzard. But
no,
that's the same company. Wait a minute.
Yeah, it is. But I was going to say Crash Bandicoot, Spyro, Tony Hawk, Call of Duty.
When was the last Spyro game? When was the last Tony Hawk game that wasn't a remake? When was the last? Oh no, Crash actually had a new game recently.
You also put in the caveat for remakes, which puts Spyro and Tony Hawk down a bit. But no, remember Tony Hawk did so good, in fact, that the development team's reward for making such an amazing and critically acclaimed game was to get merged into Blizzard and put into the Diablo mines.
You're welcome. Thanks for your hard work.
I completely forgot about that, Seth. Thanks.
Yeah, I still feel that burn.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
And Crash Bandicoot did so well that I will cry about that later.
Xbox, baby. Xbox always wins.
All I'm saying is, if this merge does go ahead, like, think about it the other way. What if Naughty Dog decided not to release The Last of Us on PC? How terrible would that be for all the PC players out there?
Which Last of Us Part 1?
You know which one.
Like the first Last of Us for the PS3, the remake one for the PS4, or the new Last of Us Part 1 for PS5. I can't fucking keep track of the same game.
No.
Only one of those is called Part 1. The others are called The Last of Us.
Steve, we've been through this. The Last of Us Part 1 PC remake is the game based on the remake based on the HBO show coming out next year, which is based on the PS3 game, which may or may not have been based on the PS4 game that they remade. Are we all up to speed now? We all on the same page?
No,
but we can continue.
For the sake of argument, let's push on.
But
it'll be interesting to see what happens.
The last note I want to add on to this is like this goes back to the 10-year deal article as well.
Yeah,
is that for some reason someone someone high up in Microsoft's chain of command, I think it was like actually the vice president of Microsoft, he put out a tweet that was like putting out Sony as the bad guys, and I think in an article somewhere he was quoted as saying that it's weird that Sony's not trying to work with us. Sony is trying to block this purchase from happening. And it's like, yes, of course they're trying to block this purchase. Why would they work with you to lock off the entire Activision Blizzard King library from them when they could just try and stop it from happening, and Activision Blizzard King still has to have a relationship with Sony?
You know what's really funny? That line sounds a lot like I'm actually not sure if we're covering it this week, intentionally or not. The Smash drama.
Yeah.
Dr. Allen.
Right,
I
forgot all of that happened in the last
Personally,
week.
I think we should.
It's been a crazy fucking week.
It's big week. I reckon we should let that play out before we're commenting on it.
Yeah, no. I guess I'm just going to quickly insert the update here on the fly. Crazy breaking news, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Dr. Allen dropped a 32-page Medium post.
A big fucking read.
So almost like almost like a tribute to Mick Gordon posting on, because I think he did it on Medium as well. But one of the things that he contends is that all of the shit that people have been talking about between how he dealt with BTS is the exact same way, of Dr. Allen going, "Why won't you work with me?" and BTS going, "Why would we?"
Yeah.
I haven't read through all of it. I'm sort of waiting for people that just know more to kind of help.
I've been hearing that a lot of TOs are coming out against his statements.
What are TOs? Are these tournament organizers? Okay.
Tournament organizers.
It's a lot of you can put all the read receipts that you want in there, but the fact that they are such differing versions of stories, it's very much. He
said, she said, sort of
which
thing.
Is coming into the Bayonetta bullshit as well.
So, yeah, I don't know. I don't want to pass judgment on that.
The real bad guys of this situation is Nintendo.
Which really is just Did You Know Gaming in disguise.
Wait, I knew it. Even when it was Smash, I knew it was Did You Know Gaming.
There we go. Yeah, I guess we get to jump to now. Where are we up to now? Video Game Awards?
Yep, the Game Awards now.
Do you reckon it's funny? Let me just get into my funny comment, then we can do whatever we want. It's called the Game Awards, but I did not see a single board game announced or anything of that ilk.
Wait, did you not see the trailer for Chess 2?
Oh, it's Chess 2 coming out, all right.
Well, no, it was a game. It was the announcement trailer.
Oh man, is that the one that's based off the Queen's Gambit?
Yeah. You know, they actually tried to sell that, the board game based on the Netflix show.
Did they really? Oh god.
No, it's on Netflix's gaming service.
Oh, fuck off. God. Oh,
I love that so
having
much.
A fucking laugh, mate.
It's like in the same vein as there was a Kiwi Scrabble that came out. It was several years ago now, but it was like, guys, it's the same letters. What the fuck is different with Kiwi? Like, just play Scrabble and just use Kiwi words.
Sure, that's what you people say, right?
It is that and fush and chops. Right. So Game Awards.
Put something in the jelly bin.
Today, right?
Today, yeah.
Today, yes.
I was trying to watch it at work, but we had a dumb Christmas party to go
yesterday for me, but today for you guys.
This guy living in the future.
Yep.
It hasn't even been a full 12 hours since it started.
Since it started, even. Maybe not for you, it's been 12 hours for Pat.
I'll let you know when we get there, but anyone listening can go and look up who won which category, so we're not going to run through all of them, but we're just going to pick out a couple that we kind of had interest in from, 3 episodes ago when we talked about this?
Yeah, I think it was like 2 episodes ago.
Yeah, it was a bit ago. It was a while ago.
So, surprising no one. Game of the Year and Best Direction going to Elden Ring.
I'm actually a little surprised that Best Direction went to Elden Ring. I thought that would go to God of War.
I honestly am a bit surprised, simply because don't forget Elden Ring came out in March. And the games it was up against, Stray excluded because I don't really think that was deserving of the spot, came out. Well, actually, no, Horizon Zero Dawn came out. Horizon
March as well.
Yeah, that came out in March as well, like a week before.
It was right next to Elden Ring. That game is cursed to always come out next to something much bigger than it in the same genre.
Okay, well, I retract my comment. I was going to say like it came out a while ago, so people may have forgotten, but They obviously forgot about Horizon and remembered Elden Ring.
Well, no, they remembered Horizon. They only remembered the Zero part.
They remembered how bad it was. Very mid game.
For me, best direction I thought would have gone to God of War, because I would have thought that they would have been more going towards like the cinematic angle of it and how cutscenes are directed and the story's directed and like music cues and everything. So very surprised that Elden Ring ended up winning that.
Yeah, it did have a very different direction to...
it ended up being like a different direction in game design rather than like direction in how to build a game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is
the true direction was the directions we took along the way.
As long as you don't get a wrong direction.
Now, see, if it could also be because the graces are always pointing you in the right direction of the game's path.
Maidenless comment.
Well, no, because they're not pointing me towards maidens.
Pointing you towards...
I think they actually do point you towards a maiden.
The Maydussie.
Well, then why every time I die am I still unclean and maidenless?
That's you personally, not your tarnished in game. There's a difference you have to accept here, Patrick.
Yeah, no, I was talking about personally, Seth. This isn't about Elden Ring anymore. Where are my fucking maidens?
Elden what, sorry?
You'll get them when you own them.
Anyway, moving into other categories that are of interest. Fan vote award for Genshin Impact. I'm not surprised by this.
I'm also not surprised by this, but it was incredibly funny seeing the Sonic fans and the Genshin Impact fans go against each other, to the point that other communities were making fun of them for taking it so seriously.
True.
Also, because Genshin Impact won, Genshin Impact is giving away primo gems in the game. They bribes their way to victory.
That's understandable.
Yeah, they gotta take what they can get, to be honest.
Best music and best audio design going to God of War. Again, not surprised.
Not surprised in the slightest.
Also not surprised. Yeah. We're just mentioning like 2 awards for each of these, but just to put it out there, if Elden Ring or God of War was nominated for something, you can assume that they won that award.
Yes.
Either one of them won that award.
Do you guys remember last year when Best Audio Design was sponsored by Chevrolet and it went to Forza Horizon?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Or wasn't it? Yeah, wasn't it? Yeah, it was Chevrolet
that's right.
with Forza.
Oh, that was I'm shocked.
That was so funny.
Rigged. Conflict of interest. Also because
you know what? If we're going to go with the rigged and conflict of interest angle, what was it? Best
mobile game.
Best mobile game? Yeah, best mobile game went to Marvel Snap, and that game's advertisements were plastered all over the show.
Yeah, I've seen so many ads for that on YouTube and everywhere else in the last like week out of never hearing of this game. So just saying, he's a bit sussy bucker.
Actually, it's funny that you mentioned that. I know that it's not on the list, but I know that for a little bit, Ludwig took a sponsorship deal with Marvel Snap, and it's funny that he won Content Creator of the Year. I'm just saying, suspicious.
Marvel money doing its work.
It's Disney money at this point.
Seth, best action going to Bayonetta 3. You must be pleased.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. How that one turned out. Bayonetta 3 was a really fun game to play, and I'm glad it beat out a shooter game in a best action game category. 2 shooter games at that.
Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, surely they're taking the piss. Like, obviously, there must be something going on there. Bit sussy bucker.
You need to stop saying.
Sorry, I can't stop.
And speaking of things that can't stop, the best ongoing
and best community support both go to Final Fantasy 14. I'm bringing back the bit.
Man, I'm so happy with that segue. Holy shit.
That was very good, yeah.
Thank you.
See, and this, I'm begging you. I can't remember the director of Final Fantasy 14, but please.
Yoshi P.
Oh, it is. And you thought it was Yoshi P. I got confused with him and Nomura. I'm begging you.
No, Nomura does Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, that's why I got confused.
And he will never leave Kingdom Hearts minds.
And to help out with Final Fantasy 15. I'm begging you, please bring it to Xbox. Please, I'm begging you. It needs to be there.
Please what?
Maybe when the engine change happens, if they ever do that.
But it's on PlayStation. There's no... whatever, it's fine. I'll sit here, I'll just...
Yeah, they don't even have like an exclusive deal with PlayStation. It's just like...
I was gonna say,
it's a lot of work to get it working on Xbox right now. And we're too busy fixing up the multiple fires from being on this 10-year-old engine.
Steve, if you want to just go tank an FTC ruling real quick, I'm sure we can sort something out for getting Final Fantasy onto your platform, bud.
Well, they might. They need all the help they can get. As someone who's not an attorney, I'm sure I could. I've seen a couple of episodes of Better Call Saul. I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, true.
Before we actually reveal the winner for the next one as well, the best adaptation is coming up next as the one we were all interested in. And I just want to bring up real quick that the day before the Game Awards, Studio Trigger did this really cute thing where they did tribute pictures of all the other nominated contenders with their Edge Runner characters. So they had David with Sonic, Lucy with Cuphead and Mugman, and a couple of other characters with the other shows. So I thought that was just a cute little tribute they did.
It's true.
But it's not the greatest song in the world.
Shame that it didn't help, though, because Arcane beat them out. Eat shit. Woohoo.
Yeah, even with that little extra push, Arcane won. Which, it was really between those two.
I'm glad Arcane won, but I would have accepted Edge Runners winning. Still haven't seen, still plan on seeing it when I have time. But yeah,
Edge Runners does deserve it just for how much it gaslit people into rebuying Cyberpunk 2077.
Gaslight people. It reminded them, saying it's a gaslight. It was a reminder and nothing more.
It was a big gaslighting campaign.
Says the gaslighter.
It is. If I wasn't playing Dragon Quest and Pokemon and Deus Ex, plus Animal Crossing and Monster Hunter Stories too, man, I'd be.
My God, you've been listing. I was expecting 1 or 2 games. You listed like 8. Where are you going?
I need to fucking get through my backlog. I'll be back, and if it wasn't for the Witcher 3 next gen upgrade coming out very soon, I'd be jumping right back into Cyberpunk. I enjoyed. I had an alright time with that game when it came out, but I reckon now it's probably come into its own.
Isn't it just a glorified demo until 2077 rolls around? Anyway?
Pretty much, yeah. Thanks for beta testing.
Beta testing the future. Yeah, and so not only did we get sorry, let me try that again. Were there any that surprised you? Let us know. But not only did we get the winners of each category, but as is tradition with the circus that is the Video Game Awards, we had a bunch of announcements. There are a few that we've all picked out as the ones that we are super excited for. I'm going to jump the gun. Fuck you, Saif. Hades 2. Super excited.
All right.
Oh, yeah, no. Hades 2 is going to be off the chain.
Do I need to say it? It's not fucking Hades. The main character is not Hades. It is somebody else. There, I said it.
No, but you're going through Hades, the realm.
Ah. Fuck, man. It's not even Hades.
Does that make
it
better for you?
It does. All right, play on. Play-ons are cool. So Hades was...
You picked such a weird hill to die on.
It was the wrong hill to die on.
And he died sad and alone.
Like, you guys are like fine on Everest and I'm just going up Rudy Hill or something. Nobody's there. Correct me. So the first Hades is the Roman gods?
No, it's all still Greek gods.
Oh, so Hades 2 is...
pantheon.
Oh, really?
Hades 2 is going the route of going after a Titan instead of going after Hades. So Hades 1's premise is that... Kronos. Yeah, Hades 1's premise is that Hades keeps blocking Zagreus from leaving the realm of Hades to go see his
hang out with his mum. Yeah, Persephone. Yeah, that's right,
And Hades 2 is setting up that this new character, they've revealed her name, but I don't have it on hand right now.
I want to say Melania, but that's not it.
Yeah.
It's with an M, I think. If I knew any kind of Greek mythology, I'm sure I'd have it to hand. But
I saw it mentioned on Twitter before, but yeah, I don't have it on hand right now. But she's going after the Titan Kronos, which is the Titan of Time. And that's kind of like the initial setup they show with this really well animated trailer. I love these animated trailers and little bits they do for the Hades games.
Yeah, they look great.
I had it in front of me, and then Attack of the Fanboy hit me with the, hey, you've got an ad block on, but I really can't be bothered disabling it, so I'm just going to dive underneath it real quick. Melano? I don't know how to pronounce the accented E.
I don't know.
Melino. Melino and then E accented.
Melano is the way I'm seeing it at the moment. Oh, Melanoe?
That's what I'm wondering. It'd be one of those two.
Because like Pokemon with the entity is like Pokemon.
Pokemon.
Well, yeah, I think. Yeah. Anyway, that's who you're playing as now. I'm super excited. Holy shit.
Yeah, I love the first Hades game. I need to go back and actually like finish the story. I'm like 4 runs completed, and you got to complete like 10 runs to see the entire story of that game.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic stuff.
I heard way too late about Hades 1, but that Supergiant. It is Supergiant, right?
It is Supergiant, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Thank God. That would have been a terrible slip. They were very keen to get community feedback really early on. There were quite a few. I don't know about like whether it was just closed betas or what, but they've said that they want to do the same thing for Hades.
It was early access. It was in early access for like a year or maybe a year and a half, and they're going to do the exact same thing with Hades 2 because it worked out so well for the first game.
And I need to get in on that.
Yeah, they did it quite a number of tweaks because of that community feedback.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. Yeah, so I'm going to do my damnedest to get in on that list for Hades 2.
Yeah, I don't think it's even like getting on a list. You just purchase it while it's in early access.
I can do that.
Now, the thing I'm wondering is if it's going to be locked to Epic Games Store during early access like the first game was, or if they're just going to go whole hog and put it on everything.
It wouldn't surprise me.
They just go whole hog and do everything. But that Epic money really helped them get off the ground the first time.
Yeah, it'd be probably a shame that they've probably taken a shit.
It'd be a shame if we got the FTC to ban Epic Games.
Yeah, talk about exclusivity. But that's different. Anyway, so that's Hades 2. We keen to move on?
Yes, definitely. Yes. I didn't even mean to spend that long on it.
Hitting the early access thing was the last thing I wanted to mention on that.
Same, yeah.
Wonderful, yeah. So they're putting a sequel to Valiant Hearts, and Valiant Hearts was a nice, not sure if it was a point and click. Actually, no, it was a point and click pretty much thing.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, and it was like World War One. You're set in war-torn France, and you're taking over this guy that's been conscripted to fight in the French army. Amazing story. I'm not ashamed to admit it. The end of that story made me cry. It's fantastic. It is. The puzzles are really fun and smart. The characters are really...
like, hang on, let's just talk about benchmarks here. Paying full price for a game also makes you cry, so, like...
I didn't pay full price for it.
I actually got the first Valiant Hearts for free because of PlayStation Plus.
I got it from the Games with Gold.
Hey.
Well, how'd you pay for anything these days? So anyway, I didn't want to read too much into it because these type of games are very heavily in the story. So they've got a sequel to it, Valiant... I can't remember what the name of it.
Coming Home.
Coming Home, yeah. And that's set in 1917. So I'm assuming it's a coming home story of someone leaving the trenches or the front line and having to adjust.
And it looks like it's covering a couple of the same characters from the first game while adding in a couple new ones.
Which is... Well, the first Valiant Hearts came out in 2011, I want to say. So it's...
2011, 2012? It was around the time they were pushing the UbiArt engine. Yeah,
because that's what Ubisoft published it, and it was one of their very... I think they took a big risk on it, and it turned out to be quite well. So this is actually a shill for the first Valiant Hearts, The Great War, I think it's called. Go play that. And get ready for the sequel. I do not think they have a release date.
No, I don't think so, but it's going to be coming through Netflix's gaming app.
I did not want to touch that because that makes me sad, but that's fine.
It's going to be the one down point on that game and will probably stop a lot of people from actually playing it.
Yeah, it'll throttle it. And it's been that much time, I honestly didn't think they needed a sequel, but...
Yeah, no, I didn't think it needed one either. It was a very good self-contained game.
Oh, well. Next?
Up next is Dead Cells adding in a DLC where they team up with Castlevania, which... Following on with Hades is a very nice animated trailer, just looks really pretty and well done. I'm surprised to see this happen. I didn't think Konami was going to do these sort of team-ups. They haven't been around in the gaming space for a little bit. But also, I know of Dead Cells, but I didn't think it was in the same sort of area where it could team up with Castlevania. But it does seem to match really well just based on this trailer.
Yeah, I think Dead Cells is very popular in Japan as well.
That would make a lot of sense too.
Yeah. So that's probably why they've teamed up. Have you played Dead Cells?
I have Dead Cells. I think I have it on Switch and PC actually, but I've only really I finished it on both. Well, as much as you can finish Dead Cells. It's one of those like difficulty just keeps escalating until it just gets stupid.
Oh, it's like one of those type of roguelikes, yeah.
Yeah. So I've completed a couple runs, I guess is probably a better way to phrase it. I don't know where in the grand scheme of things I ended up getting to with Dead Cells. My problem was that I played Dead Cells and went, man, this is great. I really enjoy this. And then I played Hades and I haven't played Dead Cells since.
Yeah, Hades will really change your mind on all types of different roguelikes.
Dead Cells is great, but Hades is a similar game and a lot better in my opinion. Like, I enjoyed Dead Cells. I there's nothing wrong with it, but just Hades was just more my sort of game.
Yeah, that seems very fair as well. I'll probably get into Dead Cells around the time this DLC hits because I'd be very interested to see it happen.
Is it DLC or is it a separate game? I was under the impression
it's DLC coming out in the first quarter of next year.
Okay, then never mind. Doesn't matter.
I'd imagine they'd have it launchable off of the main menu like they do with shoot. I'm pretty sure they have DLC in Dead Cells already. I just haven't kept up to date with Dead Cells recently enough to know, but like I could see how they would integrate it into Dead Cells 1, like already, I guess is what I mean.
Oh, okay, yeah. Cool.
Looking forward to that one.
Yeah. Something that I'm not looking forward to. Returnal and Last of Us Part 1, based on the movie, based on the book, based on the game, based on the scripture written by Moses, I think. Oh, right, wrong guy. Yeah, Neil Druckmann. Both coming to PC. Played Returnal for an hour or two.
Yeah,
that's
all I heard about the game. Sorry, meh.
It looks good to me, but not for full price. I've been waiting for it to go on a sale where it's at an acceptable price for me.
Yeah, and then similar with Last of Us Part 1. In my personal opinion, Last of Us Part 1, excellent game. Everyone should go and play it. But just the frequency that they're just releasing this onto just everything they can find, it feels like they're trying their damnedest to turn this into Skyrim.
Yeah, no, this coming to PC is the main reason why it was remade in the first place.
I'm sure it was, yeah.
I think a lot of people would have just been happy if they just ported the PS4 version onto PC.
Yeah.
I don't think it needed current gen graphics to sell well, but I guess Jim Ryan doesn't like the way old games looks even one generation ago.
Sorry, you were going to say something before I cut you off before that, Seth? About Returnal? Or
no.
Okay, cool. We good to move on then?
We're good to move on.
Sweet. Hellboy. I'm not as interested in this one, so someone that is more interested can take this one.
I don't care. This looks fairly mid.
I just like the way the trailer looks for this, and Hellboy isn't something I'm super deep onto, but I did enjoy the Ron Perlman movies back in the day. So I'll be keeping an eye on this at the very least, just to see how it turns out. And I like the graphical style they're going with. It's very still like Hellboy comic looky, like it's rough and flat, not flat colors, but like very blocky colors and a lot of dark shadows. So I'll see how this goes.
Next up, the Horizon 2 DLC. I am sure it's fine, but so it's funny that we talk about things being on PC now. I bought Horizon 1 on PC when it was on sale before buying a PS5, and so now I have it on both.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, is it part of the free games with having PlayStation Plus in general?
I'm pretty sure it was. I'm pretty sure that was how I got it, yeah. I don't know. I'm probably going to end up playing it on PS5 when I do go and eventually play it, but yeah, Horizon 2 DLC. Completely, like, I don't care. I'm sure I will once I play Horizon. Yeah.
Because Horizon 1 had a big expansion DLC, so this having a big expansion DLC just makes sense.
Yeah.
I did like that there was a giant robot hiding underneath the Hollywood sign, though. That's pretty cool. But yeah, that's about all I gotta say on that.
Speaking of things hiding, Among Us getting a new game mode.
Among Us. Now that's sussy baka. There you go.
Yes. So this is like if they made Aliens but in Among Us. They just flat out have the killer always visible, running around the area, and the objective is just to survive while doing your tasks like usual. But the added sense of dread of just seeing the killer always on the run and having to escape them seems to add in an extra layer of fun for the game.
Yeah, it's I've played a few rounds of Among Us like everyone did in the middle of lockdown. Wasn't the sort of game that this will make me come back to it, but I'm sure there are people out there who are interested in this, and good on you. Cool. I'm assuming the silence is that no one else has anything to say on Among Us. We move on to Street Fighter 6. Seth, I think this is right up your alley.
Yep, they showed off 4 more characters for Street Fighter 6. DJ is a returning character, and the rest were all new characters. Hold on one second, I need to get their names because they're not actually in the trailer. But they all hit their own new niches, which is fun. They've got a giant gladiator woman, a fashion like dancer sort of character, and this guy JP is using M. Bison's psycho power, but in more like demonic fashion, which looks pretty neat. So going with the names, we've got DJ returning. The French like judo character is Manon, and she adds in like some dancing flair to the attacks. Marissa is a big Italian woman that has her hair shaped like a gladiator helmet. And JP is from somewhere unknown, and is using psycho power. New stages they showed off all look fantastic. Game in general just still looks fantastic, and we're getting closer and closer to the game releasing. I think the end of this trailer confirmed it's coming out June 2nd, and cool. That's about it for that.
All of the Smash players will have a new fighting game to go and play because Smash is dead.
Smash is super dead.
I'll cry more on reflection about that a bit later, but in the meantime, Bayonetta 3 DLC, also Seth.
Also me, yay! I didn't touch on it because I haven't done it yet in the game, but there's a secret child's drawing book in Bayonetta 3 that I haven't unlocked yet. I'm so glad
there was more to that after Secret Child.
No, it's like a children's book that's illustrated and watercolory, and it's they're doing like a small like isometric small adventure in that storybook now as a DLC based on like a Bayonetta origin story and how the Cheshire Cat demon got created. So that'll be interesting to play through. That's coming March 17th next year. So I'll probably check that out around the time it comes out.
Right. Suicide Squad. This is the awkward one, right?
Yeah, this is a bit of an awkward one. Like in general, I think this game might be fine, but the whole reason I put this on the docket is because they officially announced that this is going to be the last role that Kevin Conroy played as Batman. Like they made a big deal of Batman in this trailer, had him played some of his iconic lines, and dropped the reveal with and also doing a thank you Kevin message at the end of the trailer.
That's hard.
It's gonna be really harsh, like playing through this game, knowing that this is the last time we're getting his performance.
Yeah.
So is this the actual last performance he ever did?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully it's a good game then.
I'm going to grace his memory by not making a shitty segue. Next one is Jedi Survivor, the sequel to Fallen Order. Yes?
Yes.
This looks very good. Fallen Order was essentially Dark Souls in Star Wars. I'm hoping this is more of the same. Maybe it becomes more of a Elden Ring Star Wars.
I need to put a friend on blast here. I will also make sure that he listens to this. So, friend...
wait, hang on. You could be talking about any friend. What's their address?
It's unavailable to me right now. But no, this friend, this friend Kaiser, he was one of the people that filled in for the guest episode that I did.
Was he good?
He was pretty good on the episode, yes.
Oh, so he replaced me. Fair enough.
I was gonna say he's not back now, but yeah.
But no, when they showed off this trailer, he was more mind broken than me when it came to Kingdom Hearts for a split second, and his cursed reaction was seeing dual bladed lightsabers and thinking of the Axel scene where he yells out 2, and I'm gonna put that little picture on there on the podcast as a video. I needed to put him on blast for it a little bit.
I'm looking forward to this game.
I am also looking forward to this game, and dual-wielding lightsabers is so fucking cool.
As always, really cool. It was a shame that the first one, Fallen Order, released in a very bad state. It did come good. I played it.
I played it on PC with no issues, so I think it was mostly just a console issue.
Well, did you play it on release or 12 months later?
I played it on release.
Yeah. Oh, okay, that's pretty good. Yeah, because it was very bad. I thought it was universal, but on consoles maybe it was the only one.
I've heard it was universal, but I didn't have any problems on my PC run.
Works for me.
Works on my machine.
Yeah, thread closed for neck growing. But yeah, I'm keen for it. Will I get it on release? No. Let's be real.
I will probably get it on release. I really liked the original, and this it looks like they're still going to keep like the Soulsy style of combat, but also push the force powers a little bit more. But they're also kind of pushing this to be more of an adventure game than the first one was. Yeah,
it does seem more exploration as opposed to combat, which could work. But I thought the first one did the balance really well, and the force powers are always a bit more difficult because if you focus too much on force powers, you're overpowered. In my opinion, and then it just becomes like a Force Unleashed type of game, which are good games for about 2 hours, and then it's
I fucking love those games all the way through. But no,
they are so boring after a while.
I did think there was a good balance in the first game, but seeing like these little additions of like riding around on some animals like to get to extra places or gliding on a bird, those little additions kind of like hit a bit more of like, oh, this is going to be more of an adventure game and more exploratory, and maybe they'll push it that little bit further to just make it that much more of a full experience.
Yeah.
Also, can we talk about the fucking Kylo Ren lightsaber at the end?
They look cool.
They do look cool, and I'm fine with them being in. I think it's funny though that they just had the little handle, like the little lightsaber hand guards.
Yeah,
I don't even know what purpose it's going to serve gameplay wise because all different lightsabers have different functions. So
what do you mean? It's for opening beer tops. Am I wrong?
You're not wrong.
You're not, and that's what's upsetting.
Yeah, but keen.
Yeah, super keen.
I have a question for you both. Do you both like death?
No.
Not really. It's
okay.
It's kind of a dark topic.
It's not the hype response. Do you like Stranding at least?
Yeah, I do.
Stranding is pretty fun.
I like it. Like cool. Stranding.
And how do you feel about sequels?
Sequels are okay if they're done right.
Well, then, do I have some lukewarm news for you?
That is the exact temperature I like. Yes.
Just right. Thoughts on Death Stranding 2?
I didn't watch a trailer because I haven't played the first game yet, but I'm excited it's happening, and it's pushing me to go play the first game sooner now.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how this goes. From what I've heard of the first one, it's very strap yourself in. Maybe you've given Kojima too much creative liberty, which is fine. It is what it is. But maybe we sort of have to get ready for weird games just to be weird game from him now that he's sort of given creative license. It'd be interesting to see what goes with if this is his, because he partnered with Microsoft, we heard at this E3, if this is that game, which it probably isn't.
No, I'm sure that Sony owns the license to Death Stranding, so I imagine whatever he's doing with Microsoft is something completely different.
Yeah, because it came to PC Game Pass, the first one, but not Xbox Game Pass, which is very strange. But that is because Sony owns. Not sure if it's the IP or the publishing rights or something.
So what you're saying is that there should be some sort of 10-year exclusivity clause where Death Stranding is promised to Xbox for the next 10 years.
to PC Game Pass specifically.
I only want those for good games like Call of Duty and Call of Duty Part 2. And then the remake of Call of Duty.
But they have to be on the Switch so that they have to be forced to be cloud games.
No, I don't want cloud games. I want 5 frames a second. With star wipes.
You'll still get that with streamed games on Switch.
If you can actually load them. Christ, anyway, what are they thinking?
Tekken 8 also announced. Who played Tekken 7?
I did. I love Tekken 7.
I'm not very good at fighting games. I have a lot of fun playing single player fighting games. I get online and I get like flogged, then I get very angry and I put them down. I am not very good at them, but I love playing them.
I'm the same way when I'm playing multiplayer in fighting games. It's usually with friends or family. Like, I don't really go into the ranked and casual matchmaking, which is like, you're probably thinking, but then Saif, why do you care so much about rollback netcode and things, the online modes? It's like, they need to work well so I can enjoy them with my friends online.
Saif, I'll be honest, I don't think too many people were wondering that.
I was.
See, there's at least 50% of the people on this podcast wondering that, so I'm covering my bases.
I think 50% of the people is the right number of them. 33%. That's fine. You know, it doesn't matter.
I mean, it was just between you and Patrick.
You know what, let's move on.
We both know that Josh doesn't care.
I'm hoping that the story mode in this is better than the Tekken 7 story mode, because that was trash.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Well, not trash, but the way it was presented was trash. But there was some good moments in there, like the Akuma and Heihachi fights, and the Kazuya and Akuma fights. You know, anything that involved Akuma was a good fight in that in that story mode.
I'm noticing a theme, I'll be honest. I'm moderately excited. It's not something that's super high on my radar, but I enjoy kind of just, couch king, fighting games.
Just for the record, it looks like they're bringing back one of the prime fighting game MILFs with Jun Kazama.
I don't remember asking,
let that
Seth.
hang, and we're gonna move on.
I do not remember asking. I'll be right with you.
DLC for Fire Emblem.
Man, the game's not even out yet, and they're announcing DLC.
Fucking predatory.
It's such a shame that this is such a norm in the industry.
Yeah, I fucking hate it. But I will, in defense of wearing my Devil's Advocate
hat.
That too. But didn't indicate a price. It said that there was waves, I think. Waves of DLC.
4 waves.
So, 4 waves. I'm not sure if that means there might be free releases. So it could be one of those things where it's not too bad.
They call it an expansion pass, which I usually think has a price attached to them.
Yeah, and like on the trailer, in like the last, I think, 10 seconds, it had a expansion pass sold separately, so that pretty much is the nail in the coffin. But I'll inhale my copium for a bit longer.
Up next was Diablo 4. We're just going to go right past that.
Mm-hmm. Then we had Space Marine 2. I'm super excited for this. The trailer tells us, it was already rumored that there were Tyranids in it. What I liked was that we saw kind of large open battles with Tyranids, so it'll be a lot more of the kind of like mobbing and hoarding, which was the fun parts of the first half of Space Marine 1, where you're just going through waves of orcs. So yeah, this one, very high on my priority list. Probably second equal with Armored Core, which we'll get to, behind Hades 2 for announcements that I'm keeping track of out of this block. That's really all I had to say on it. I'm very hyped for this.
I want to see a little bit more of it, but it does look pretty cool.
Yeah, the trailer that we got was bits of gameplay. The story I don't need to be super in depth because 40k lore is just generally interesting to me. But I do hope that they retain the feeling like an unstoppable tank that they just absolutely nailed in the first Space Marine. So hopefully they retain that.
Yeah, no, and there's a couple of shots of like being surrounded by enemies and you're just slamming one by grabbing its head and flinging around at other enemies, and it seems like it's going to do that, and I need to see more of it because it's I'm just watching it for the first time as we're talking about it now. I need to look into it some more, but this does look like something right up my alley just for a power fantasy trip.
Well, I mean, Space Marine 1 is probably very cheap to pick up on Steam, and I would recommend. Probably, yeah, from my memory of it, because I played it a few years after it came out, and it still held up when I played it, and I'd expect it would still hold up quite well now. Anyway, next up, the Crash Bandicoot MOBA. Is this finally the Pokemon Unite killer?
No. Look,
I don't care.
Crash is big, and I love Crash. It's not as big as Pokemon. It's not killing Pokemon.
I don't think it's supposed to be a Unite killer.
I've been watching all of these trailers as we've been talking about them, like just to refresh my memories on them and everything. This is the one trailer I refuse to rewatch. I'm just who the fuck wanted a Crash Bandicoot MOBA game? And The worst part about this is that I don't know if this is better or worse than the leaked original design document for this game, because it was originally going to be a Fortnite clone.
I think it's so much worse.
It got cancelled, and then it came back as this.
Chances are there is someone listening right now that was going, "Oh, I was really looking forward to that." Is Saif addressing me like when he talks about who the fuck asked for Crash Bandicoot MOBA? I just want to clear the air. I just want to say, yes, Saif is talking to you directly. If you wanted this, you should be ashamed of yourself.
You should.
Yeah, like when I first saw this, I saw the title and I'm like, okay, maybe this is like a Mario Party type of game. It is not.
And then how many seconds in was it before you realized?
I think I'm still in denial, to be honest.
The worst part is that they've made the initials for this CTR again. Fuck them. CTR is sacred. Crash Team Racing is such a fucking phenomenal racing game. How dare you besmirch its image with like this?
That's really funny.
I don't think it matters.
It matters to me.
And that's valid as well.
I will not ask for other opinions on that.
And we won't ask you either.
Can I ask your opinions on Crime Boss?
I literally the only reason I've put this on here is because of the fucking star-studded cast on here that just made me fucking lose it. Like, at first I was like, oh, yeah, okay, here's this actor, and then Danny Trejo, okay, I'm interested. And then another actor goes past and is like, Vanilla Ice? What the fuck is he doing here?
Vanilla Ice.
But no, it's incredibly funny they've space scanned all these celebrities and put them in. I will just keep an eye on it. Also, they ended on the stinger of Chuck Norris was going to be in the game.
Oh, really? Oh, I didn't bother this. I didn't know what this was trying to say, so I ignored it. That's crazy, but
I don't know if I'll buy it and play it, but I'll definitely keep an eye on it just to have a laugh.
I'd be really worried about picking this game up on PS5.
Why?
Because then if you press the cross button on Chuck Norris, you'll have crossed Chuck Norris and then he kills you.
That was very funny, actually. I have not heard a Chuck Norris joke in about fucking 9 years.
Yeah, well, it's been about that long for me too.
What can I say? Happy to help. Armored Core 6 is another one on my list.
Hold on. We can't go there yet. Because I need to mention that Knuckles the Echidna is going to be in Cyberpunk 2077.
Okay, hang on. So Cyberpunk 2077 is getting an expansion sometime next year, and this will help it become its game of the year.
This is the end of the gaslighting sequence.
No, guys. You must, however many layers of tinfoil are on your head right now, you need to add another one, right? Because this will gaslight people into watching Edge Runners, which will gaslight people into playing the game.
And, just adding Knuckles as a character into this is another layer of just getting more people gaslit into it. But actual seriously, the main game had, fuck, why am I blanking on his name?
Idris Elba?
No, not Idris Elba. I'm talking about the main game.
Oh.
Keanu Reeves.
Keanu Reeves, that's it. The main game had Keanu Reeves as a celebrity face-scanned actor into it, and the DLC is going to have Idris Elba in there instead. Maybe they'll bring Keanu back, but Idris Elba is the main focus in this trailer.
Maybe they should stop fucking around and actually make a good game instead of paying famous people $1 billion.
You're right, that money could go to more programmers so that the code isn't a
more
fucking
QA.
pile of trash.
More fucking QA, Jesus. Anyway, doesn't matter. I'm getting revved up.
I'm sorry, what was that? Fire the QA department? Is that what I'm hearing?
Are they part of a union?
No, we're not Activision.
Strongly encourage them not to join a union? Is that what I'm hearing?
They joined a union and we're gonna fire them.
they get a oh shit, what was the Intel one? Good news, Intel employees get to take a mandatory 3-month vacation from being paid. I think that was Intel, but the headline was fantastic. Anyway, Armored Core 6, as I tried to mention before, was so rudely interrupted. Baller trailer. I'm excited.
Yeah, fucking amazing trailer.
Fantastic.
It was probably it may have been the best trailer there. Like that, the contenders for me is this one or the next one we're going to talk about. But this one's so artfully done that I really like it.
Yeah, this one is more like
next one's
piece.
Final Fantasy 16. No one cares. Anyway, so Armored Core. So I last played Armored Core 4 on PS2, and I enjoyed that.
I haven't played an Armored Core game before, but I will either look into jumping into one of the older ones or just jump in with 6.
Yeah, probably better if jumping in with 6. Let's just wait.
As I said, looking into one of the older ones, I think the only other one that you'd be able to play would be PS3.
I mean, I
unless there's a
can
spin-off
play the
game
older
somewhere.
ones. It's just emulation instead of hardware.
I'm calling the police. It's a crime. You'll rot in jail.
But it's not a Nintendo game, so it's fine.
I'm gonna have Nintendo copyright strike this podcast. Watch me.
But I didn't even suggest emulating a Nintendo game.
Too late. You just said it.
I said it for a From Software game.
You said the E word. They're coming for you.
That'll be taken out of context. Congratulations, you're on a list. Anyway, I'm excited for that. Finally, Final Fantasy.
Fantastic trailer. It's probably the best one they've done for this game so far.
I didn't watch it, but I take your word for it. I will watch it eventually.
There's just a lot going on in this trailer. A lot of things that we've seen before. Like, it's a lot of interactions between other characters, but there's a few more little story hints thrown in. There's like straight up showing the character turning into Ifrit and just beating down other people. They show some of the party members, which is something people have been wanting. One of the party members is a dog. You can pet the dog.
Oh, yeah, I don't care. That's not bottom tier.
One of the party members is also going to be the Sid of the game. And my favorite addition is that they've changed Odin's Zantetsuken in this game to be a Devil May Cry style Judgment Cut. It just looks so flashy and fantastic. I love it. And they also announced at the end of this that the game's going to come out June 22nd. So we have a hard release date now. And honestly, this trailer was so good, I feel like I don't need to watch another trailer for this game unless it's like just a straight gameplay demo.
Hey, you know what? You know what? Cyberpunk also had a hard release date, and look what happened.
Had multiple release dates because it got getting delayed.
You're right, but I feel like Square Enix is going to be pretty tight on release dates because they also want to get out another 2 Final Fantasy games next year.
I am looking forward to it. It's not coming out on Xbox, so it's a deal breaker for me. This will probably come out and they'll probably fucking bring something else. But yeah, it does look good, and I'm happy that you're excited.
I am happy that you're happy that I'm happy.
So okay. Done.
but no, this is finally having the release date. I will avoid the launch trailer at all costs because that will just spoil the entire game.
Fair enough. And with that, we are at the end of definitely not a list. We legally cannot call that a list. It definitely was not a list. This was not a list episode, all right, Steve?
In fact, it was curated picks.
It was curated picks and what we thought was good about it.
I need to hear you say it. This wasn't a list episode.
This was not a list episode.
There we go. You heard it from Steve.
In fact, I think we cut out like 50% of the things from the Game Awards.
And we still went for so fucking long.
But it wasn't a list episode.
It was not a list episode. I don't want anybody coming up into my business saying it was a list episode because it wasn't.
A lot of that time was also bitching about the FTC or praising them, depending on what side of the fence you sit on.
I don't think any of us praised them, but
if it was a list episode, would we have randomly talked about Dr. Allen and the Smash drama in the middle of it? Probably not.
You know what? Just for that list episode.
No, You know what?
Bastard.
Just for that, I'm cutting you out.
Pray for the best. I'm going to read the back of this packet mix of brownies. I do not have any brownies near me. But if I did, it'd be pretty funny.
So, audience question, how do you feel about list episodes? God damn it!
No!
It's funny, the audience, I don't know where you're reading that one, the audience question I have in front of me is, Steve, how did the thumbstick taste?
Did it taste like a Switch cartridge?
Fucking Roger Rabbit, wasn't
it? Is that your rabbit's name?
Roger?
No, it was sent in by P tier Griffin.
Oh, shit.
Man, Family Guy, they don't make them like they used to.
We don't have an audience question this week, but what is the thing that people are most excited for out of the announcements? Mine's Hades 2. I made that clear.
I honestly don't know. There's a lot of stuff I'm excited for. Nothing
it's
that
okay. You can just say Hades 2. It's fine. I won't judge.
I'm probably leaning that way, to be honest.
Come on in. The water's fine.
For something new, Hades 2. For overall, Final Fantasy 16 as usual.
I'm curious about the Cyberpunk stuff. Jedi Survivor's good as well. Armored Core. There's a bunch of stuff in there.
This was a very good showcase.
Yeah.
Like there was a lot of fluff that we didn't care about, but all of the stuff that we did care about were like really good hits.
Oh, there's always going to be stuff. Yeah, there's no way you do something like this.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah.
Like, and the problem with this showcase was that it was front loaded as well. Like, I think up to Jedi Survivor was all like the first 40 or so minutes.
Yeah,
then it was dead air until Death Stranding and Tekken 8 happened.
They were running very late.
Yeah, and then like the last 40 minutes was the rest of the list. Not list, curated
Not
picks.
list. Not list. Holy shit, that was close. Whew, false alarm.
Don't use the L word. All right. This has been a mega long episode. Reel us out, Pat.
I was about to say, hopefully that answers your question. It was my question. Hopefully that answers my question. It did. But if you or a loved or hated one has a question you want to get in touch, we're on Facebook, Fast Travel Lounge, Gmail at fasttravellounge@gmail.com, or Twitter, Fast Travel Lounge -1 of the L's. If you're listening to this on a platform that you can give us a like, comment, subscription, rating, review, that would be super appreciated. It brings us one step closer to being the preferred. I'm not even sure if we can continue this bit.
No,
it really
you have
helps
to.
us out. And there might be a Krispy Kreme sponsorship involved somewhere, allegedly.
They will somehow involve Krispy Kreme, even if it's just us going to go buy a box.
Yes, the reverse sponsorship deal. But yeah, next week, Pokemon. Come hell or high water.
Next week. Cannot wait. I have a lot of thoughts on that game. Hopefully I've completed the Pokedex by then, so I can...
Yeah, same. I hope to have the Pokedex completed by then. Maybe the Pokedex completion will add or subtract a couple of points from the game.
I don't see how it would.
I don't know either. I'm just putting the question out for debate.
This has been episode 53 of Fast Travel Lounge. I've been Patrick. I've been joined by Saif and Steve. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll catch you next time. Goodbye.
Happy birthday to that guy that crashed the Game Awards. Very weird thing to do. I guess we'll see you in prison.